Now it says if you, okay, can you show me valuation, current and potential, and why they're so close? Oh, yes, yes. Let me share this with you. Hang on. Let me share my screen. That's good. Good question. Okay. Yeah. So you see, okay. So the way that we look at our deal, there's 3 different ways that we look at our deals. Because, you know, remember, we buy severely mismanaged facilities. So current for us is like, what is it doing right now? Okay. And a lot of times, most of the facilities that we pick up are like 50%, 60%, or 40%, or 30% full, right? And they're like a lot of vacancies. So if this was at, you know, 20% vacant, then this number is going to change because you're taking it from 20% to 8%. So potential for us is really like taking it from, you know, 20% to 8%. 8% is the number that we use internally to look at deals, right? Some people look 10, some people 5, we do 8 is what we do. All right. So this is basically taking it from 20% to 8% full. That's why you can't change any numbers here. Okay. And then over here, you can change this. All right. You could change it to 5 or 10 or whatever you want to do. But this is after updates, is if you can increase the price per square foot, or you can increase the number of units if you could add on. So this area, obviously you saw, has like no area to add on. So we couldn't really calculate that. Okay. And all we could do is really change the price per square foot. Okay. Now you could see that I changed it to 20. I changed it to 20%. If I was at 30% vacant, right, it's at $1.05. And if I take it to 8%, you know, then this 82 cents should really be higher, right? It should be higher than what you're, you know, because you're after updates, you know, is supposed to be an opportunity, right? So we're at, let's say 10% vacant and we're taking it to 8%. That's why 8% is here. And then 8% here is the change, because essentially taking it from current to potential to after updates is really almost just one step, because it wasn't a not full facility. It was full. It just wasn't, they weren't charging what they should be charging. Okay. If that makes sense. Okay, let me see here. Okay, what size facilities and what size towns seem to be best for owner financing? Secondary and tertiary markets, anytime, anywhere. I mean, anywhere would be good. Okay, so we are actually, let me show you this. But on the on our deal analyzer, we're doing the owner finance letter, right? Looks like this. Okay, so we're just doing, you know, the cash offer, and a cash offer could also be a bank financing offer, right? So this number could be the same as bank financing. And then we have owner finance 1, 2, and 3, right? So we show them how much money they could possibly be making, right? That it really doesn't matter if it's secondary and tertiary. It really matters, how are you educating the seller to understand how much money they could possibly be making if they owner financed it to you. That's really it, because the truth is 99% of owners are not ever, when you tell them that you're going to give them an offer, they're not ever thinking owner financing, they're thinking cash offer, right? So when you hand them over an offer that has like 4 different offers, I'm going to tell you, it's like blows their brains out. Okay. So that's really that's why I call it the magic letter. Okay. And let's see what else. How small of a town is too small? And how large of a town? Any town under 100,000 is good. So I tell my students 25 to 100,000 is really like a secondary market. And, you know, standalone cities that are by themselves. So for instance, like we have one in Valdosta. Valdosta has 75,000 people. I mean, we picked it up a 120 unit facility for $275,000. It's like the ugliest facility in town. All right. And it's 75,000 people there. Okay. It's worth like well over $1 million once we get that thing leased up. It was like severely mismanaged. He was making $400 a month on that facility. Could you imagine only making $400 a month on a facility that you should be making like well over 10 grand every month? Yeah. So, and then what else? And then, yeah. So any secondary or tertiary, secondary is 25,000 or less. Okay. I have an owner interested in selling. He would probably do owner financing. However, the time comes to when the time comes to refinance in a few years and pull the money out, he would get hit with this tax bill, which is what he's trying to avoid. He needs to 1031 exchange that into something else is what he needs to do. And he needs to talk to a CPA, but he could just 1031 exchange that into something, right? Right. That's what he could do to avoid the tax bill. So owner finance it for 5 or 10 years and then pay interest on like what, you make. And then in the end, 1031 exchange it to something else, any type of property at all. Right. Or if he doesn't want to, he'll just have to pay the taxes on it, and talk to his CPA about what he could do.